Because the push factors, the money and the waiting, that's only half the story.
Right.
You don't just fly to China because you're frustrated with your local hospital. You go because they have something you desperately want.
The pull factors.
Exactly. And this is where we get into the real sci-fi stuff. The report spends a lot of time discussing CAR-AT therapy. And I feel like I see this term thrown around in medical journals constantly, but can we just break down what it actually is for the listener?
Sure. At its simplest level, CRRT is advanced immunotherapy. Doctors harvest your own T cells.
The soldiers of the immune system.
Exactly. They take those soldiers to a lab and they genetically re-engineer them to recognize a very specific protein on your cancer cells. Then they multiply them into a massive army and infuse them right back into your bloodstream.
It's like giving your own immune system a targeted software update to hunt down the cancer. That is a perfect analogy. Now, to be clear, this does exist in the West. It is FDA approved for certain conditions. But here is the massive nuance that the report highlights. Okay.
In the US and Europe, CAR-T is almost exclusively used for what we call liquid cancers, leukemias and lymphomas, blood cancers.
Right. And it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it.
It does. But China is doing something very different. They're aggressively going after solid tumors.
Which the report calls the beyond blood breakthrough.
Yes, this is basically the holy grail of modern oncology. Solid tumors. Things like lung cancer, colorectal cancer, ovarian cancer. They are notoriously difficult for CAR-T therapies to penetrate
Why is that?
because they build a sort of fortress around themselves, a hostile microenvironment that literally shuts down the immune cells before they can attack. Western clinical trials have really struggled to break through that wall.
And China has cracked it.
They are definitely leading the charge. The source material points out that China currently has more active CAR-T clinical trials than any other country in the world. They are testing novel delivery systems specifically designed to breach that solid tumor fortress.
But why there, though? Is the science itself just inherently better?
It's a combination of incredible volume and streamlined regulation. Because they have such a massive population, they can fill a clinical trial almost overnight.
Ah, I see.
In the U.S., finding enough eligible patients with a very specific rare cancer profile to run a trial can take years. In China, it takes weeks.
So the speed of innovation is just totally different.
Exactly. It allows them to iterate incredibly fast. If version 1.0 of a therapy doesn't quite work, they're testing version 1.1 a month later. Along with faster regulatory approval, they bring the cost down to a fraction of the Western price.
So if you are a listener out there, or you have a family member with stage 4 lung cancer, and you've been told by your local doctor that there is nothing else we can do, China is offering a lifeline that literally does not exist at home.
Correct. Now, it is experimental, yes.
Okay.
But for these desperate patients, the standard of care has completely failed them. They are actively looking for the frontier of care. And right now, for solid tumor cell therapy, that frontier is largely located in China.
The report also briefly touches on something called heavy ion and proton therapy. It actually refers to it as the scalpel of the future.